What's up, everyone? Welcome to episode 2 of the Out of Here podcast. I am Summoning Salt, joined once again, as always, by Just Alex.
Here we go.
Yeah, Giants got wrecked this past weekend. That's pitching was very bad. Obviously, they've got a bunch of COVID and injury issues. We'll get into that a little more in the episode, but this was not good. Very, very not good.
It was a very unexpected series.
Yeah. No, I mean, going into this, I was like, are they going to sweep or are they going to win 2 out of 3? Like, which is it going to be? And well, I was wrong.
Yeah, it almost felt like they were lucky to get their one win, but it was still a blowout. So at least that one
they did play well in that one win. To give them credit, we'll go into that in a minute. But yeah, so Giants lose 14-4. They come back the next day, they rebound and win 9-3, just kind of getting back into shape. I think they're going to win game 3, and then they end up losing 11-5. So yeah, not good. So start with game 1. Giants lost 14-4. Alex Wood was on the hill. He'd had a really good season so far. Really, I don't remember what his ERA was. I think it was like in the 2s or 1s even. And then
he was good to start the season.
Yeah, he came out 5 innings, gave up 5 earned runs. The Nats pounced on him really early. He held it together somewhat, but yeah, not a good outing from Alex Wood.
Yeah, I was kind of surprised, but also it was something I kind of thought about. Like I think something I saw on Twitter too. It's like the Giants, they played the Nationals like on the road trip, and it was pretty recent. So I kind of had this feeling that the Nationals hitters would kind of be pretty comfortable with the Giants pitchers, at least more comfortable than the first time they played them. And that kind of showed up in the series, but who knows really.
It's true, but also you think it would go the other way for the Giants. Yeah. And to be fair, the Giants offense was pretty good, but the Nationals offense, I believe they got 45 hits in the 3-game series, which that goes without saying. That's absurdly horrible. They give up 45 hits in 3 games. But yeah, no, Alex Wood not having his best stuff. That's kind of how Alex Wood is. He's very up and down. Like he'll give you a really, really solid performance, like 7 shutout innings. And then he'll go and drop one of these where he gives up, 8 hits in 5 innings, 5 earned runs. Unfortunately, it was, it's a kind of a weaker Nationals lineup. They're hitting, their offense does look pretty good. I have to give them that. But
yeah. No, the heart of their lineup this weekend, like just raked constantly.
It was even the bottom of their lineup.
Yeah.
Like in game 1, Victor Robles was 4 for 5 with 3 runs batted in.
Yeah.
It's like their 9th hitter, Escobar, their shortstop was 3 for 4. And his OPS going into the game, it looks like it was 419. So it's like, all around, not a good effort. Game 1, the Giants. I would say if there's one bright spot in game 1, Joey Bart might be back, questionably. He was 3 for 4.
Yeah, he did what he was doing to start the season, like hitting the ball hard, line drive home runs practically. Like when he makes contact, it's good contact, but his problem is just all these swings and misses most of the time.
Yeah, but he didn't strike out at all in game 1, which is huge for him.
Yeah, that's good.
So yeah, hopefully he keeps it up. But and then the bullpen in game 1 wasn't any better. Junior Marte kind of came back down to earth. They charged him with 3 earned runs in a third of an inning. Kervin Castro gave up 5 in 2/3 of an inning, and then the legend Tyler Beede, he came in, he gave up 4 hits, but they didn't charge him with any earned runs. So all good there. But they were using kind of their B bullpen in that first game. Junior Marte, Kervin Castro, Tyler Beede, and they did not effective really at all. So
yeah, I guess the one good thing about those kinds of games is that your main bullpen guys get a little rest, but you don't want to have to do that too often.
That's true. But yeah, I guess they needed some of those guys for game two. Game two, much better than the first. They won 9-3. Logan Webb on the hill. He looked really not at his best, but he was able to limit the damage. Six innings, 3 earned runs. And the bullpen came in, finished it off with 3 no-hit innings from Alvarez, Brebbia, and Yovera. So, all around, obviously, much better performance from the staff. But even in game two, I think you could tell the Nationals offense was kind of knocking on the doorstep most of the game. They were hitting Webb kind of hard. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, looking at the box score, it was pretty surprising. Soto was 0 for 4, but almost everyone else got a hit.
Yeah, they kept them in check. They did.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, the offense obviously came back that game. Darren Ruff, 3 for 5. That was so good to see. We need Darren Ruff back. There's kind of a pivotal moment in the third game I'll talk about in a minute with Darren Ruff. But yeah, Vossler, 2 for 3 a game. Crawford got a hit. Estrada got a double that drove in. I think it was a bases clearing double, if I recall. But yeah, no, I mean, all around, solid performance. There's not that much to say really about game two, other than, they came back and they had this momentum going into game three, and it seemed like they were going to come out and really dominate.
Yeah, I mean, I think this is one of Vossler's best games, but
yeah.
It was nice to get some contribution at the bottom of the lineup.
Do you think Vossler is going to stick around?
I mean, for now, because Longoria is still at least a few weeks away. He's close, but I do feel like once it'll be either him or Williams going back down, if I had to guess.
So, okay, but what happens when Wade comes back? Because I would think.
Oh, that's true.
Then they're just going to put Wilmer at third or something.
Yeah. Wade coming back, I don't know if that really affects Williams because Wade's a lefty, so it's probably going to affect Vossler, if I had to guess.
Yeah. So, but no, I mean, if Vossler keeps playing this well, it's going to be hard to keep him out of the lineup for long. I'm sure they'll start platooning guys in a bunch once they get healthy, like they did last year. But yeah, I mean, Vossler, I didn't actually look too closely at his advanced stats to see if his stuff's legit or not. So I'm going to pull that up real quick. Yeah, it looks like his BABIP is 300, which, that's right around where you want it to be. So it seems like he's not getting really lucky or unlucky. He's striking out less than last year. He's walking more than last year. He's hitting more line drives than last year. Yeah, I mean, he just looks like an improved player. He's not striking out as much and hitting the ball really, really well. So hope he sticks around.
It is hard to tell though, because it's a very small sample size. He's got less than 30 at bats, but so far it's been more encouraging.
Yeah, last year he was around 73 at bats in 41 games, and he hit 178, but also that he was getting unlucky. Just looking at his BABIP a little bit, so yeah, I mean, hope he sticks around, but yeah, no, it's just going to be tough for these guys to get playing time, I think, in a few weeks.
Yeah, the roster crunch for the first month already happened. The roster went back down to 26-man roster, I think. So that I think we saw Marte and Krizan, who just came up, were brought back down.
All right, should we move on to game three? Let's try letting you do the recap of game three. I want to see how you do.
Let's do it. It's a little tougher to do the recap for this game. I was traveling, but
yeah, I
was kind of trying to follow the game as much as possible. It from the first inning, though, it looked like it was over.
Yeah.
But it definitely seemed like Cobb coming back from injury, he was getting a little unlucky. There were some fielding mistakes that caused that first inning explosion. I think it was actually Vossler. It was I didn't see the actual play, but it seems like it was a fieldable ball that could have been a double play. Or I saw people even saying it could have been a triple play because Cruz was the one who hit it, so he would have been really slow.
I believe there was one out in the inning when it happened. Maybe I'm wrong. Let me see.
I don't even know. I wasn't able to watch that that game. But
No, you're right. There were no outs. You're right.
yeah,
Yep.
yeah, and then from there it just snowballed.
hmm
It looked like the the bullpen also struggled because at least later in the game when it looked like they were starting to make a little comeback. Um, got to 8-5. Um, and then McGee came in like the eighth inning and gave up 3 runs. And I feel like that's been a kind of something that happens with McGee. It's like whenever he gets some days off, it's like
Yeah.
he's all rusty and he's not ready to pitch almost.
Yeah. To me, this was the most frustrating game out of the three. Game one was kind of like, okay, what, like they're, Wood just got hammered. The offense isn't really there, whatever. And then game two was much more encouraging. Game three totally felt like a winnable game to me, even though they ended up getting blown out in the end. Like you said, Cobb comes in. He both looked bad and got unlucky. The expecting batting average on some of those hits, I think two of them were under 200 that ended up being hits. And then, yeah, he was walking guys. He was giving up a little bit of hard contact. I would say the worst of it that was killing him was these walks, because he'd get like ahead in the count and then just completely fall out of it and let someone get on base. And that happened like a couple times in a row to really extend it. So first game back from injury, not the end of the world. But what was really frustrating was, okay, you had Sammy Long come in, kind of calm everything down. Harlan Garcia came in after him, no runs given up there. So it stayed 5-0 for a while. And then they gave it to Junior Marte, which from Kapler's perspective, it's like, I don't know if he did that because he doesn't really trust Junior Marte. So it's like, okay, it's a 5-0 game, kind of low leverage, might as well. Or if he thought, the team really has a chance to come back. So let's just keep putting some good guys out there and see what they can do. But it backfires. They go down 7-0. He puts Bede in. I really hope he stops putting Tyler Bede in soon. Comes 8-0. And at that point, I kind of turned off the game for a little bit. And then I checked the score in the seventh, and I saw they were coming back. And I caught up on everything that had happened. And they had a really good rally going. Everything was looking good. And then Darren Ruff came to the plate. The bases loaded, 2 outs, I believe it was. It was like the last chance. Actually, wait, am I getting it? I feel like I'm getting confused here.
I think you're mixing it up. Ruff got a walk. He scored a run technically.
What inning was it? There was some inning. Am I thinking of earlier in the game?
It probably was earlier in the game.
I am. Yeah. Okay, sorry, I jumped ahead. 5th inning, the Giants had bases loaded, 2 outs. They had this really good 2-out rally going. Yeah, that's right. Krizen got his first base hit with 2 outs, and then Joey Bart drew a walk. Luis Gonzalez, World Series legend, drew another walk. So the bases loaded. Darren Ruff comes to the plate, and I'm like, all right, this guy's red hot. He's getting back into it. Let's do it. At least put it in play. And man, he struck out swinging, and it was the most deflating thing ever because it was only 5-0 at that point. So I felt like even if you get like a couple runs there, that's huge. But yeah, it didn't work out. And then, I was confused with the 7th inning where it ended with Estrada hitting a ball where off the bat it looked like it was going to fall, but it hung up there and it was kind of right to dead center. So Robles was able to get it and end the inning. And that it was just a frustrating game. Like they didn't play very well to begin with, but just the batted ball luck too was not on their side. So
yeah, it definitely, just from an outside perspective, looks like in this game they kind of
it's fine.
Looks like they kind of failed as a whole team in a way. Like like the fielding kind of is just causing those runs to score. The walks, and then they were getting no hit for at least half the game almost. Like
they were. Yeah, I wonder if Vossler doesn't make that error in the first, what happens? Like he probably still gives up a couple runs, but he ended up getting the second out of the inning when the score was 3-0. And that was after the error happened that allowed to run the score. I'm guessing it would have been like 2-0 after the first if Vossler doesn't make that error. And then, who knows what happens from there. But yeah, no, pitching did not come through. I don't, I'm curious to see. You mentioned Jake McGee. He struggles with days off. Um, are you like worried about him, or you think he's just going to go back to being like reliable Jake McGee, nothing to worry about? He'll give you a 2 point something ERA, and you know.
I think with McGee, like he just has inconsistencies that like I think the fact that he pretty much only throws 2 pitches and that's mostly the fastball all the time. Like
yeah, but really it's like
people
one
are pretty
pitch.
used to him. People are pretty used to him, and like if he's not locating it well, which would happen when you're getting days off like this, I think that's where he struggles. Like he's got to locate that fastball well in order to be an effective pitcher. Otherwise, it's just a fastball that is either wild or it's too easy to hit.
Yeah, no, last year there were so many times when he was the closer, especially before Duvall came around, he would just throw a high fastball and it wasn't super fast. It's like 94 miles an hour maybe, but guys would always swing through it because I think, it's hard to even explain it because it's not like he has really effective off speed that he throws all the time. So the speed difference like clearly makes up for it. But yeah, now it just seems like guys are hitting it. And right now, obviously, small sample size. He's only been in 8 games so far, but that ERA is up at 5.87. His walks are way up from last year. His strikeouts are way down. We'll see what happens. He did have a good spring training and everything too, but can't look at that too closely. So I'm skeptical we're going to get the sub-3 ERA Jake McGee this year. Luckily the Giants do have a pretty deep bullpen, but yeah, I'm skeptical that we're going to see the same guy we saw last year.
The one good thing is that Duvall had a good inning, 3 strikeouts, so that's better.
He struck out the side. That's what we've been needing to see. The strikeouts. I know they don't matter much compared to as long as it's an out, but you need him to be a strikeout guy to be effective. Yeah, he's not going to come in there and be, Greg Maddux and have pinpoint location and, get 3 ground balls to end the inning. He's going to overpower guys. He's going to fool them with his slider. So, overall, not a very encouraging weekend for the bullpen or the starters. The offense, I do think that the offense, I'm not really worried about them. They had like an okay weekend, but the fact that
they're missing so many guys. Yeah.
There's no Belt, there's no Peterson. Those were their 2 best hitters to start the year, and they're both out. And then you got, Lamont Wade Jr. coming back hopefully soon. Evan Longoria. Those are like 4 really key guys to this offense. Like really, really key guys that aren't here.
And even Mostella, when he comes back, he'll be a lefty bat.
Yeah, I'm expecting Mostella is probably going to replace Thairo Estrada. Not just, they're going to platoon them still, I'm sure, but like, if there was theoretically someone, like if you had someone who could throw righty and lefty, like I'm sure they would probably pick Mostella over Estrada, I would have to imagine.
Yeah, I do think though that they're probably pretty happy with Estrada's defensive play. Like,
yeah,
his glove seems pretty good. He's basically a shortstop playing second, but actually like used to it compared to what we saw a few times from Trey Turner last season with the Dodgers. But yeah.
Yeah, his bat hasn't been horrible or anything. Like he's leading the team in RBIs, so he's clearly getting clutch hits.
Mhm.
But yeah, I mean, he's not. I think, yeah, I said this in the first podcast, but I'm a big Tommy La Stella fan. I think he's gonna come out there, post an 800 OPS, and take that second base slot mostly back. And then one other guy we didn't mention who's out is Mike Yastrzemski, who was heating up right
Yeah,
before he got COVID.
yeah. That's a lot of their main. Those were like that's already a third of their main roster out with either minor injury or COVID, and now we got hopefully Wade coming back, like you said, and then Longo and Listella. So this lineup's gonna look drastically different, like in maybe a month.
Hopefully.
Yeah,
Um, so yeah, no, strong. So, obviously, yeah, tough weekend for the pitching. I have some faith it'll turn around. Webb has kind of been trending in a not great direction his last two starts. Like he was obviously incredible to start the year, but like pulling up his last three starts. The first one was in New York against the Mets. He went 3 2/3, gave up 3 runs. And then the last two starts, both against the Nationals, he went 6 and change, gave up 3 runs. Those aren't bad starts, but they're you want better from your ace.
yeah.
And yeah, overall, because he had a couple really good starts to start the season, his numbers are still pretty good, but hopefully, he rights the ship, rights the course, gets it back, gets it looking a little better again.
Definitely the thing that worries me for this last game was the 11 hits. Like
Mhm.
he was getting he was getting battered around. Luckily, like he only gave up 3 runs, but 11 hits against the Nationals could be way worse against other like maybe better teams.
Yeah, they were hitting him. They were hitting him pretty hard. He's only given up 1 home run this year in 5 starts. Obviously, that's good. But yeah, they were hitting him. They were hitting him around a lot. Kind of the same issue that Wood and Cobb had. I mean, they didn't hit that many homers this weekend. It was just like base hit after base hit after base hit.
Maybe Oracle's just turning back into the pitcher's park that we all know.
Maybe, yeah. I don't know. Well, offense is down. I know they're dejuicing the balls. Could be part of it, but I don't know. Anyway, so yeah, not the greatest series. Unfortunately, with all these guys on the COVID list and injured, of course, the next series is against I believe they're in first place now, the LA Dodgers, coming up Tuesday and Wednesday.
Actually, if we look at, I think the Padres are in first.
Let's see.
But it's all really close. It's all one game. Or
Yeah, I've got Dodgers at first 14-7, and then Padres are 15-8, unless they just played today.
Oh, you're right. Yeah, you're right. One loss, it's better for the Dodgers.
Yep, slightly better. So this is going to be really tough. It's a 2-game series in LA. I believe just pulling up who's probable for pitching in each of these games. Yeah, so Rodon is going tomorrow against Urias. If we're gonna win one of these 2 games, I feel like that one is far more likely to be won. Urias has been good, but I think Rodon has certainly been better to start the year.
And Rodon's been like one of the best pitchers in the whole league to start the year,
Yeah.
I feel like.
Yeah, no, he's been really, really good. I'm trying to remember the Giants against Urias last year. They did struggle. A lot of teams struggle against Urias. And again, this isn't the Giants A lineup right now. It's a bunch of quadruple A guys, a couple of main starters that are going to be in there, but a lot of it, Vossler, Krizan, I'm not really sure which it is. Luis Gonzalez, and these guys have been good, but again, like it comes down to who would you rather have at third, Vossler or Longoria? Like probably Longoria, So I think it's going to be very tough for them to get some offense going. You just have to hope that Rodon has a really good start tomorrow.
I do think they're going to have issues with Urias because like a lot of their best hitters, like although Belt's not going to be able to play in this series, like Peterson, who's likely coming back, maybe.
Yeah.
and Crawford, and a lot of these guys are lefties, and the lefty thing is always an issue. I think that's why they've struggled before in recent years against Urias, but I guess we'll have to see.
Yeah. So I'm pulling up stats for how these guys did against the Giants last year. Urias. Okay, so Urias faced the Giants 2, 3, 4, 5 times, not counting the postseason. So first game, he went 6 innings, gave up 2 runs. Second game, he went 5 innings, gave up 6 runs, earned runs. Third game, 7 innings, 1 earned run. Fourth game, 5 2/3, 1 earned run. And the fifth game, 5 2/3, 1 earned run. So, I mean, they had some success. It's not like he shut them down all year, but yeah, I mean, Urias is a really good pitcher.
And the Dodgers lineup is just so it's an all-star team. Like, no matter how you look at it, it's pretty much an all-star team.
Yeah. So, but Rodon is also an incredible pitcher. So, yeah, if they win one of these, it's going to be, I think it's going to be tomorrow, because the next day it's going to be Alex Wood against to be determined from the Dodgers. Just interesting. I'm not sure who's next in their rotation, but Wood against the Dodgers last year, he went 3 times. First game was 6 innings, 2 earned runs. Second game, 6 innings, 4 earned runs. And then the third game, 4 innings, 4 earned runs. So his results ranged from like pretty bad to good-ish against them. So yeah, I don't know. I gotta have some faith in Alex Wood, but it's a crapshoot with him. He's kind of, it's hard to predict how he's gonna do.
Yeah, I mean, it's always been his Giants tenure.
Yeah. So what do you predict? 2 games. What's happening?
I mean, I hope they get at least one. It's tough. The Dodgers are tough. This is definitely the best team that they're going to play so far this season. So, like, I want them to get one, and I think they can in the Rodon game. So I'll just say they'll get one.
Yeah, I think they'll go 1-1, maybe. I'll pick that. I'm not going to pick them to go 0-2 against the Dodgers, but just, like, if this game is happening in a month, if this series happens in a month instead of now, I would feel much better about saying they'll at least win one game. Because yeah, like you were saying, this lineup in a month is going to look totally different than how they look now.
And I mean, I'd say that's a good thing for the Giants, because they're still 14-8 with so many guys out and so many guys still waiting to come back. So
yeah, they're getting it done. Except last series, but other than that, they're getting it done.
Yeah.
All right. Anything else you want to add about Dodgers or Nats, or do you want to move to the prospects?
Yeah, I think I want to go to the prospects. I got a few I want to talk about this time. AAA guys who knows, maybe they'll be called up at some point this season. The first one I want to look at is David Villar, who's just raking right now. Like, he's got 8 home runs already in 21 games. So he's just crushing it right now. And I'm kind of thinking, like, he's definitely got a chance to be their third baseman of the future with how he's playing right now.
Yeah, David Villar, 25 years old. He's rocking a 1024 OPS right now in AAA with River Cats. Last year, he was in Richmond, AA team, 881 OPS. So he's trending up. Obviously, again, small sample size this year. Can't draw too many conclusions, but he's off to a really good start. A lot of power. He's in for a good average. He's walking a lot. He strikes out a fair bit. He struck out in looks like about 30% of his plate appearances, which is high.
Yeah, they definitely want that to get lower. They want to really call him up.
Yeah, no, but I mean, David Villar, he's pleasant. I don't want to say he's a surprise, but I don't think anyone was expecting him to go over 1,000 OPS with the River Cats. Although I will say, last year there were a lot of guys on the River Cats who got off to a really good start and then kind of faded away as the season went along. So we'll see how long he can keep it up.
Yeah, I mean, it felt like last season, Sacramento was like just hitter's paradise because so many guys were doing so well, and the pitchers were really struggling. But yeah,
Yeah, I don't know if you've been to their ballpark before, but in the evenings there, it's typically very warm and still.
uh,
So it's kind of, perfect home run conditions. And
yeah,
if you get the
launching
ball up
pad.
in the air, it'll fly. So,
That makes sense.
but yeah, no, still good start for David Villar. See if he's going to come up at some point. Although we're kind of crowded over at third base right now. So
Yeah, definitely. The other person I wanted to talk about is pretty much a new guy who just showed up for the River Cats. The Giants picked up a guy named Kevin Padlo like last week or something, and he had a 3 home run game like a few days ago. I'm just wondering like why all these teams are giving up on their guys like this.
I don't. If you pick up your phone and it's Farhan Zaidi and he's trying to give you money for one of your players, hang up the phone and do not deal with him because this is the stuff that happens. Like they come to the Giants organization and it's like it's crazy. It's like this guy had a 644 OPS with Seattle's AAA team. And now he's 1618 OPS with the River Cats. He has 4 home runs and 20 plate appearances, 412 batting average, 500 on base percentage. I mean, will that last? Like, no, it won't. But this is incredible. Like, I don't know how this keeps happening.
Yeah, no, it's kind of crazy to me. And I'm just waiting to see the next like player gain from cash considerations just become like a major star on a team because or at least a major platoon asset, like it's happened so many times already for the Giants with Zaidi at the helm.
I will say it's interesting with this guy Kevin Padlo. The same thing kind of happened to him in 2021, where he was traded from the Rays organization to the Mariners organization. And with the Rays to start the season in AAA, he had a 649 OPS. He went to the Mariners, and to close out the season with the Mariners AAA team, 985 OPS. So I don't know if it's just like the change of scenery gets him excited or what's going on with him, but yeah, 4 homers and 20 plate appearances so far. So
No, maybe it's just a sign of good things on the horizon, but it's another third baseman, so I don't know. Too many third basemen, I guess.
our infield is so crowded. The outfield is a little more open, but it's like Jock when everyone's healthy, Jock Peterson and Mike Yastrzemski, I think, have to be out there. And I mean, Austin Slater's been really good lately too. So I don't know. It's crowded.
Exciting times.
Tough to make the team. The Giants, there's too many people. But all right, any last final thoughts here?
I think that's it. Let's hope they win at least one with the
Yeah.
Dodgers series.
Yeah, games are 7:10 p.m. tomorrow. Always a late start when you're playing in LA. So it's kind of how it is. But yeah, if you lose both of these to the Dodgers, then you're 14-10. Still is like a fine record. But in the NL West, it's like not
You
good
gotta keep
enough.
up. You gotta keep up.
You have to keep up. So it's not must win, of course. It's early in the season. There's no must win games in early May, but this is as close as you can get to it with the Dodgers, because if you lose both of them, you're falling way behind, and it's going to be hard to make up ground on the Dodgers this year, and maybe the Padres too. So
Yeah, I definitely think like it's obviously not must win, but it would be a huge confidence booster for the rest of the season if they can get one and maybe two out of with like the current lineup that they have with all these injuries.
yeah, just find a way to win. Someone step up, Luis Gonzalez or Joey Bart, keep your hot streak going. If Rodon goes out there and pitches, seven, well, he's not going to. I feel he's not going to pitch more than 5 innings because he always throws like 20 pitches an inning because he strikes everyone out. But But yeah, no, if someone goes out there and has a great performance one of these games, Wood or Rodon, we got a shot. So, all right. So I guess that's going to wrap it up. Thanks for listening, everyone. This is big series coming up. Hope they can win one. If they win more, then awesome. But get that pitching back on track, get guys off the COVID list and the injured list, and hopefully things will turn around here. So thanks for listening, everyone.